Yesterday I did a quick video showing my new custom Glock from Lone Wolf. And a lot of people are like, well, that's not really a Glock. And I'm like, well, you know, it's a Glock, sort of. It's all Glock sanctioned parts, so I guess it's sort of a Glock, but there's not much Glock about it. It's kind of the anti-Glock, I guess you would say. Well, I guess not anti-Glock, because I guess anti-Glock would be an attractive gun that isn't very reliable. But this is a Glock-ish gun, so let's call it my custom Glock-ish gun. Well, after I posted that video, I got a lot of comments and questions in emails and in the comment section. More than I usually get on a video that early in the morning. So I thought I would take a moment today to address some of them. Now, the question I got the most was I high when I made that video? Because in the early part of the video where you see me, I look a little rough. Well, no, I was not high. I do not partake. I got nothing against marijuana or alcohol. I just don't take it. I don't think I need it. I'm pretty loopy all the time anyway. But I wasn't high. I was just really tired. It was 4:30 in the morning. I had been fighting with this camera for days to get it to work, and I had finally gotten it to work. So I was just worn out. And this camera is really high def, so it shows every flaw. It makes you look, if you look like crap, you're going to look like crap on this camera times 10. So I'm going to have to find out something about that. I'm going to have to wear makeup or something, I guess, because that was rough looking. But that's what it was. It wasn't like some people who posted backhanded comments like, oh, good for Yankee. He doesn't care what he looks like. He'll post any old crap. No, I kind of do care what I look like, and I won't post any old crap. Believe me, I've got worse video footage I could post, like when I do my camera tests in the morning. There's a fucking button. There's a lot worse crap I could post, so count your blessings. Now, the second most frequent question I got about that video was, did Lone Wolf pay me to make it, or did they give me this gun for free to make that video? Well, no, they did not give me this gun for free. First off, I already had the frame, so all they did this time was make the slide. The slide and the compensator, that's what they did this time. So no, they did not pay me to make the video, and they did not give me this for free. However, they were very nice, and when they contacted me about this new compensator they make, they said, hey, if you want something built, because he already knew that I wanted a slide with this engraving in it, because I had talked to him about having my other slide engraved. He said, why don't you order a new slide with the engraving? I'll put a compensator on it. We'll send it to you. If you like it, you'll buy it. And they even gave me a little discount. You'll buy it and keep it. If not, send it back. So they did make me that special deal, but I am still paying for it. Companies don't really approach me with offers to pay me to make videos. For one, people don't really care enough about what I think to pay me to say it. And two, they know if I don't like something, I'm probably going to say so. So the only companies that tend to approach me are companies that already know I like their product, like Lone Wolf, Hogue, etc. Other companies, they kind of shy away from me, and they definitely don't offer to pay me. Another question I got a lot that I'd like to answer really quickly is, are there actually any Glock parts in this gun? Well, there are some Glock parts in this gun. The magazine is definitely Glock. I have a Glock magazine in it. So there is a Glock part. Now, is there anything else in the gun that's Glock? You know, I'm not sure. I thought the frame block might be, but it's not. Then I thought maybe the ejector is, but I'm not sure. But I'm going to say the only thing I know for sure that's Glock is the magazine. Now, another comment I got a lot in that video was, how do I stand the fact that the compensator does not match the slide? The slide is stainless. The compensator is aluminum. People were like, I'd want those to match. Well, I didn't want them to match, and there's a reason why, and I'll go into that in a minute. Now, if you're someone that wants them to match, you'd get them coated. Believe me, Lone Wolf wanted me to get these coated. They kept like, are you sure you don't want them coated? Do you not want them anodized? Do you not want them coated, etc.? And I'm like, nope, I want them bare. You can say I like it raw, I guess, but that's the way I wanted it. I wanted them raw, I didn't want them finished. And the reason is, I wanted this to be brushed aluminum up here because I've got this brushed aluminum piece down here. So it kind of balances. When you have a little bit of an OCD problem, like I do, you like things in patterns. And this is a pattern. It is aluminum, stainless, polymer, aluminum. So it's like the pattern starts to repeat again. And you also like closed patterns, things that start with something similar and end with something similar. So that's why I like this, aluminum, aluminum. So aluminum, stainless, polymer, aluminum. So I did that on purpose. There was a very big reason for why I did that, and that is the reason. And I actually love the way this looks. I love the pattern. I love the contrast. I am happy with it. Now, there is one thing I am going to change, and a couple of people actually mentioned this, and they said this would look better with a brushed aluminum trigger, which is why I have this, which is Lone Wolf's ultimate adjustable trigger. Now, I will say they did give me this for free because, like I said, I already had the frame for this gun, and they knew that, so they couldn't put this trigger in what they were building for me. So they asked me, do you want one? We'll send it to you for free. And I said, sure. And you know, there's nothing wrong with accepting an occasional free gift from a company that you have proven to be a loyal customer to. There's nothing wrong with them showing their appreciation. I don't complain when that toothless tranny hooker behind the Denny's gives you an occasional free hand job every 10th visit. You earned it. You were a loyal customer. So get the fuck over it. Now, I wasn't sure if I wanted to put this trigger in the gun I just got or put it in the other Glock I have here with a stainless slide, but since this one doesn't have any aluminum on it, I think I will put it in the new Glock. Now I will be doing a video on this trigger here pretty soon because I'll be changing it out in this gun and moving the trigger in this gun to another gun. So I'll show you more about this trigger then, but it is an adjustable trigger from Lone Wolf and it can be adjusted while it's in the gun, so it's pretty nice. But like I say, I'll do a video on that later. Now another question I got a lot, which kind of surprised me, was does the compensator attach to the barrel or to the slide? Well, it attaches to the barrel. I'm surprised people ask that, but you know, I understand a lot of people have never seen a compensator before or never used a compensator, so it's a legitimate question. I'll open it up here and I'll show you how it attaches. As you can clearly see here, it is attached to the end of the barrel. So when the slide cycles, that compensator stays in place at the end of the barrel. And the way it attaches to the barrel is it is threaded. The barrel end is threaded, and this has a receiver end for the threaded barrel. It screws onto the end of the barrel, and then there is a set screw that holds it in place. Now, I was a little bit worried about that not being very stable, but I've put over 500 rounds through this, and it has not moved at all. So the combination of the threading and the set screw seems to put it in place really firmly. And finally today, one comment that people made about this gun a lot was it was gaudy or garish or pimpish. And to those people, I'm like, yeah, that was kind of the point. Do you not get the point of why I built this gun? This gun wasn't built to be practical or a carry gun or to be conventional. This was built to be a freaking Glock pimp gun. And believe me, this gun wasn't built for anyone else's taste but mine. I wasn't expecting anyone to love everything I did. It wasn't what I did that mattered. It was the options that you had, the things you could do. I wanted the most gaudy, garish, pimpish Glock I could possibly have, and I think I accomplished that. Believe me, there's nothing about this gun that it's supposed to be conservative or conventional or practical. It is my personal wet dream idea of what a Glock pimp gun would look like. So it is my own personal little creation. And let's face it, anytime you see one of the Glock slides that's been all cut up and made to look all cool, there's nothing practical about that at all. It's just to make it fancy. I mean, it's to make it pretty. That's all there is to it. No matter how tactical you want to think that is, it's just cake dressing. It's just making it pretty. And it's not cheap. I actually wanted to send a slide to a guy to have it engraved once, one of the bigger names, and with him giving me a sizable discount, he called it, I had to send him my slide, and it was still going to be like $600 to have him do the engraving on the slide to cut it up the way I wanted it cut up. That ain't cheap. With the Lone Wolf slides, I don't have to send them a slide. They'll actually sell me a slide and engrave it or not engrave it, depending on whether I want it, for a lot cheaper. In fact, the slide alone is only like $175. And if you want one that's all cut up, they will actually cut up their own slides and send them to you. They will do all the engravings, all those cutouts, etc. on them and make them look all cool, make them look all pretty for you. And it costs a lot less than a lot of the other companies that do it. And you get an extra slide. You don't have to sacrifice your original slide for your gun, so you can put it back on there if you want to later. Now I know a lot of the more tactical guys will try to justify this practice by saying, you cut the slide down, you make it lighter, it runs faster, it's better. That's not true. If anything, cutting the slide down makes it less reliable because slides are made to go with the caliber that they're shooting. They're weighted for that. That's the optimal weight to caliber ratio. They do that when they design the gun. So making it lighter isn't going to improve its function. If anything, it's going to marginally decrease its function. In fact, at a time like that, it would be best to go with a company that makes their own slides if you want to have it cut down, because they can make their slides a little bit beefier if they want to, and then cut out the metal and still have the same weight slide at the end and still have that same weight to caliber ratio. So there's nothing practical about this gun or any gun that you see that's done like this. It's all about looks. Now the Compensator, that is practical. And that's kind of what I wanted to show you because I think this new Compensator is so cool. Like I said, it blends into the slide, makes it seem like it's one big piece, doesn't look like a cheese grater stuck on the end. And I really like that and I wanted to show it to people. Now, a lot of you are also curious about how much it costs. Well, I'm not going to go into cost. When you go into cost, people tend to do two things. They either yell at you like you're an idiot for spending too much money, or they say, oh, you're bragging on how much you can spend on a gun. But this doesn't have to be expensive. Like I say, it doesn't have to be this ornate, and it doesn't have to be this expensive. You can get this slide, like I said, for $175. I think these compensators are only like $49, and then you can go up from there. You can do all the engraving you want to do, change out parts you want to do, or use the parts you have on your Glock already. So go over to their site if you want to know price, add up the pieces, that's the price. You can go as plain as you like or as fancy as you like. Like I said, you can go with a plain slide, plain compensator, engraved slide, engraved compensator, cut up slide, cut up compensator. You can do whatever you want to do. They have a lot of options over there and a lot of different price points. So go over and check it out if you're that interested in the price. So there you have it. There's another look at my new custom Glockish gun from Lone Wolf and some answers to some questions everybody asked. I hope now everyone has a little bit better idea of why I made this gun. Guys will try to excuse this practice by saying, well, you cut the slide down. Motherfucker.
Oh,
Cookie puss.